Alright. There you go. Welcome, welcome. Alright. There we go. Getting things set up. I think we're just about ready. I'm sure there's something I'm missing that's gonna be important, but I think we're looking good. Hello guys, welcome to Star Cookie and Apple Dash. Welcome, welcome. Let you guys come on in. How have you been? Let's see. It's been some interesting updates, even over the last couple days. How's the mic? Is that probably talk a little louder as well. How we doing? Mic check. It's got some background noise. Maybe it's something. I don't know. There we go. There we go. Looking good. Mic is good. Okay, cool. That's also confirmation that I have it on. So that's good too. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Dakota. I think we're just about good. I'll switch it. Do, 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 do. There we go. Alrighty. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. I'm a little fatigued. I kind of stayed up last night trying to get my movie done, and a bunch of other stuff is going on. But yeah, check this out. I can do a eye blink. I just added this half hour ago, so it's really bad, but in concept it works. So check this out. There's like a so I can select on the body mesh, and so I have different shape keys. So I'm deforming the mesh itself, which is the craziness here. You can see how that changes. So if I change the value over here, we can get her to blink. It's not exactly perfect, but in concept it works. So I probably just need to finagle with the vector points themselves and to clean them up. But yeah, and there this works. So I remember like being really afraid that this wouldn't work out, or like I would need like, remember last time I had like an extra, probably still have it. Yeah, I have an extra object here. I was like gonna beat a blink, but I was like trying to like sync it up and to like make the armature try to follow it, and it just wasn't working. So it's like, wait a minute. What if I just use the actual mesh that I have here and try and edit it to try and make this? I was scared that it would sort of look like this, where it's just kind of like really goopy and weird. But yeah, you don't exactly get this exact shape here. But I think if I add some more to it, maybe it'll look a bit better. And the way that I usually animate is more, snappy. So it might just be here, maybe like a half, and then here. So probably just need it to look pretty good halfway, and then I might have to make another shape key that just probably might have an object that looks like this, and probably just put it inside of her head, and have a shape key where for her face to then have the mesh here actually go in the right place, and just snap to the right place there. So but yeah, I'm trying to get this to work. It's still a work in progress, and just trying to figure this out as I go along. I'm learning different things as I go along, so that's been hit and miss whether things work, It's been twice as long trying to make things work rather than just doing it, I guess, but I think it's good to really make sure that I understand it as I go along. So yeah. How we doing? That's what I've been up to. How am I doing? Yeah, I said I'm a little bit tired. I actually woke up really tired. Kind of stayed up past my bedtime last night. But the movie's looking pretty good. Worked out a little bit this morning as well. Remember that time I said like there was a big 3D object, like a whole collection of 3D objects that I wanted to edit, and it's like how much trouble it is to like model texture, figure things out, and then also have to put it into every animation shot that I have. So it's just a lot of work to get that going. But that's looking okay, and this is looking alright. Let me just set this up so I can... There you go. So I can see what the frame rate is, 24 and 25, which shouldn't be possible to be more than 24, because that's the highest it should be. So, oh well. I forgot it was you who was saying it. Thank you, Locomotive. Hello, hello. Well, let's see. Let's focus on the present. Right now, we're probably... Yeah, we're going to work on the rough animation for the second half, which is where it should be around 60 around here. So we have her kind of like get back up, and then we'll have her kind of move her head around with her eyes, which... Eyes are fun. The way I set those up. Got the armature. See all the crazy bones. I got the eye base controls, and I got the other ones somewhere. Let's just dive into pose mode and get started. Alright, so what do we got so far? It's the first half looking okay. It's not exact. I think some of it is still actually weirdly slow. Like, I want this to be like this more of a hit. It'd be like more of a shock or something. Instead of just kind of cleanly kind of going between these different poses and then kind of getting back up. I want it to feel like a boomf. Like more of a boomf. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And then slowly then get into this pose, and then this can be fast as an up. So right now it just feels too keyframed, I guess. That I just want to move those back, slow it down just a smite, I think. Hopefully that sounds right. Okay. I think for now I'll just kind of focus on where she gets up to here. Or I can add the blinks. We can do that. Oh, I got her smiling. Let's make it more serious here. Here. Smile frown. Let's see. Let's bring it back to 1. Let's see. Hi, Sasha. Welcome, welcome. So I got a couple loops around her mouth, and then I colored them to be darker. So there we go. We can make the eye blink. Probably also want to actually have these have keyframes, so I can do stuff with it. There we go. Yeah, before, if I just started adding different, if I started to like animate it later on, and if I wanted her to have her blink here, without actually setting it to be a keyframeable object, she wouldn't actually blink. So I have to first allow it to become a keyframeable entity. Like a little diamond over on the right, you can't see. That's cool. Let's see if I can smidge it just a bit. There we go. Okay. That's just one of those weird Blender quirks where it's like you gotta actually enable it to become keyframeable. I guess it's so that when you're working with it and like in later frames, you don't accidentally make it a keyframe. But there's also this button over here that actually makes it so you can have auto keyframing. So if you just turn this off, then it won't keyframe it. So why do you then also have to have an option to then make it keyframeable at all? You know, that's more nitpicking, I guess, but it is a little bit awkward. Of like, I've had times where it's like, oh, let me just start adding my values on different frames, and then realize that, whoa, I didn't actually set it to be able to be keyframed, or it's not gonna think that it is keyframed. There's something weird. Never open her mouth. I do the close one to be backwards. Let's open her mouth even more. Let's see. Look at these keys. Something constant, so now she'll, on the exact frame I want, have her open her mouth. I want to move this one back, which doesn't make sense, but it's gonna probably make it look, actually see, because you can't see her mouth there. Bop, bop, bop. Okay. Open her mouth. And then right about here, we can't see her mouth. I'm gonna close it. Close 100%. Open 0%, which I'm sure there's a more elegant way of doing that, but that works. Okay. And then we have eye blink. Set to close. So there we go. So in theory, if I have this set up, then later on I'll have it have like her little eyelashes also move, so I'll have to probably have another key, key mesh, shape key, be able to have that set up. So that'll be fun. So we close here, and then right about here, let's have them start to open. Or close eye, I don't know what to call it. Start to open, and then so it'd be all the way open up, and then kind of close it. Have some small animation with that. There we go. It just adds a lot more into this now. And her eyes actually close for there. And then for about here, close them again. Squint. That's it. I was stuck on the word squint for a bit there. So I was just gonna like shake her head at this point. Open it back up. Just adds that slight bit more life to her. And then let's see, maybe a blink here. Let's close them again. Beep. Close. Beep, beep, beep. Start to open, beep, beep. All the way open, beep, beep. All the way open, beep, beep. A little bit closer. And a little bit close. So I create a blink. Blink. I feel like it could be snappier. So let's see where, yeah, this is too slow here. Trying to select these all. Beep, beep. It's gonna actually be moved a little bit closer. And some of these can also be, it's like a ease out, ease in. There you go. That's a blink. Okay, cool. And we can play with the eyeball positions as well later. There we go. Yeah, that just adds a lot more life. There's a couple blinks. Blink, blink. Let's see. Thank you, Deadpool. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, dokie. What should we do? We could do mouths as well. Wish I could see the mouth a little bit closer. I think when she like opens it back up, she can not really open her mouth, but maybe things are very underrated. I agree. What do I want? I want her to smile. So let's do smile frown. And let's do a couple keyframes here. Push it and pull it back. So now we got a whoop, little bit of a smile. Yay. Again, I really like using blinks as like anchors for like timing, personality, and a lot of stuff. I remember like a Madagascar behind the scenes DVD featurette. It's always stuck with me. There was like an animator or director was talking about the giraffe character. I'm missing his name. But it was like, how do we make him look nervous? Is that they would always make him like blink really, really fast, and it's like that's how you convey nervousness. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Like I always put that in my pocket of like, yeah, it's like that's like using blinks to like create a character, like emphasize your character more than having it be, you know, using its longer legs and body motions and stuff. It also goes into facial expressions and thinking even deeper than just like, oh, he's nervous. Well, we'll just put, you know, nervous eyebrows or something. It's also doing even more, like thinking even psychology of like what makes something, what do you happen to be doing when you're nervous, is that you would blink a lot more often. So I always thought that was interesting, and as a kid I was like, wow, that's a cool thing, wow. I was like, cool. So again, and stuff like that. Always trying to like add into the character performance as best I can. If I can add something more, then I'll do it. Yeah. Let's see. While we're here, let's work on the armature. Actually, switch over to head, and see what we got here. I don't have too many poses in here, so let's work on that. Animate character work, and after maybe a few blinks while they were talking, it just injected so much life in it, especially for idols. I know, yeah. That's why, like, I remember like how I said like last time I had a I had like a walk cycle leg for like the 2D Derpy for the movie. I also have my eyelids have a cycle so that they always blink on the spot like every second or so. So like I pre-programmed in a sense to make sure that I never forget that they have to blink occasionally. So yeah. There's a reason it brings up. What are your thoughts on tracing over others and selling it? Yeah, I mean, I admit that I've done that over the years, but eventually I realized that's not a good way to build yourself as a illustrator or whatnot. That you're not really learning as much as you really think that you are. That it just makes you not really understand like what goes into making artwork and all that, you know. And it's like, oh well, if you just draw, like I've tried to trace and it's like actually like really hard trying to trace someone else's drawing, and it's like, oh well, somehow I lose something in it, you know, some quality, because you just be tracing like the finished line work art rather than what goes into it to actually make it much more believable or like much more articulated, you know. That's why you hear a bunch of people like saying like, oh well, line art is always so tricky, but it's always like so fatiguing and everything, exhausting to do it, but it's actually super important because usually you just think of like animating or like drawing where you're just not in betweening. I'm going through like every permutation of this. In betweening is like tracing, but just like drawing at a slightly different position, like offsetting your drawings. Like I say the ear here, but to do like an in-between from this ear to maybe this ear, I would have to draw like the ear somewhere in the middle while maintaining form and perspective and size, spacing, and all that, just so I can get from here to here. It's like somewhere. So in between is actually much more of an art than sometimes even keyframing. Of just how much imagination you actually have to use. Because you can have a keyframer who just like, is this really loud? Or not loud? I can turn it up. Should it be muted? I see it. There you go. Let me turn it up just a little bit. Because they could have a keyframer who's like, just kind of puts positions wherever they want, and then just hope that an in-betweener kind of puts it together. So like an in-betweener is actually the real heroes at the end of the day. Because they have to like imagine like where these different positions are in space between different poses. Even like even between like a keyframe and a breakdown, there's always like still like so much more that has to go into it. Pronounced nay. Okay. Online Japan. It's been heavily reprimanded. Cover. Company holds online for doing it. Oh jeez. Issue of silver artist. Yeah, that's not cool. Because you don't really learn anything, and it's just not an ethical thing at all. It's still gray water of like whether or not you want to still be able to like say like, oh, I didn't make this, but credit to the artist, and I'm also sword and trace. It's very, yeah, it's not cool. I don't know how to punish her, but I imagine she got a very certain talking to. Yeah, that's not cool. Let's put this here. I think I just had the music. I was able to hear the music, but I think it was just very, very quiet music on its own, and then just not. I also put the OBS, the sound mixing, relatively lower. So yeah, that's also why. Okay, so I got the head to kind of do a little follow through, where it kind of goes up further than it should, and then it kind of settles down into a more natural position. So it kind of like snaps back a little bit further. You know, we can always like make this go even further. Really make it more impactful, like a bobblehead. Do. Partially trace some parts for trace and other parts for trace off. Well, that's still commendable, I guess, for half doing it. Is the other half me? Let's see, what do I want to do? There's some section here. Oh, I can see where the eyeballs are. With this dot here, this dot here. Beep, beep, beep. That's where the eyes move. So I can kind of move the head. Let's think about this. I have to think. So the eyes move in a clockwork, counterclock. No, wait, which way? You start there. They're going clockwise. Okay. And then I want the head to like kind of. I have to act this out. Okay. Whoa. I'm gonna get myself dizzy. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. 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 Oh jeez. Okay. So. Let's see. So I can do it from this angle, so I can do it first person. Let's see. So we're going down, and then we're rotating this way. And then we're going this way. A little bit more. And then we got this one here, where then we're pushing it this way towards us. Antis? Maybe it wouldn't matter. I was already settled with the artist and then let's forward to make a short video addressing it. Oh man, I hate those having those mandatory apology videos. I don't think I've done one. But yeah. It's hard to really say that those are genuine all the time, you know. It's more just obligation to be like, oh, I guess I'm sorry. It's really just hard to really say that. That's a kneecap apparently. Where's my eyes? Base. This one moves both. There is the other one. I have to go in here to kind of see it. Ahem. Hi, Shermie. Welcome, welcome. About the simulation. Ah, jeez. Oh, okay. Wasn't like one of those. Uh-huh. Okie dokie. Okay. Let's work on the eyeballs. So that's it pretty good there. I'll move the eyelashes eventually too. So don't you worry about that. Can I get up? Kind of bit down. Let's just kind of start to whoa. Whoa. That's good. Alright, cool. More formal. Okay. Alrighty. Three. Up. Can move them up. Move them over. Good there. Up. Down. Okay. Yeah. Ooh. I think there's a timing interesting delay here. So maybe I want to have her start to really make it a little bit more. I keep writing H instead of G. Let's make it more forceful. Ah, that's good. Adding a couple more keyframes helps. I'm looking over here, so sorry if it's distracting on the left side. On the side that my mouse on the right. See just how much work you have to do to get all this to work. Okay. I think we need one with the head to like, yeah, we need one here. And then like one more big one. Maybe too much. Let's kind of... Let's see. Oh yeah, there's many derps now. Beep. Halfway. So for this to work, let's see. So it goes from looking at the angle, so just looking 6.5 o'clock to 6.5 to like almost 6. Let's see. So maybe just barely rotate. A little bit further. So just kind of... don't want to make it too drastic, but just kind of Yeah, okay. Forgot it starts with her eyes right there. Very nice. Okay. Boop, 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 whoa, whoop. Okay, cool. Excuse me. If they do, like, you know, where they have like screen eyes for being dramatic. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. That's so interesting. Trying to click on stuff. I think the music's... I mean, the music's loud in my head, so that's why I kind of turned it down, but then the OBS is, like, even quieter than that. So, that's what happened. Okay. There's not much here. Maybe I can add, like... Head just kind of moves up. Like, a little bit. Let's move these head bubbles 2 over. And then I can move the eyeballs actually a little bit sooner than that. So I like to have like the eyes kind of lead the action. Let's kind of grab it first. So these kind of move up. Eyeball both control move 2 frames, 4 frames actually. So they're moving up here. Up, now rotate, grab. Let's see. Don't know what the scale of all this is. There we go. Grab. Grab. See if it's very slight. Do. Ugh. There we go. So you can kind of see with the close-up view here, is that her eyes kind of move up a little bit, and then her head starts to then move. I actually learned that from a ventriloquist DVD as well as a kid. I was into like trying to figure out if I can do a ventriloquist. And I was like, I'm not actually good at it, but it was fun. So I learned a lot of like performance and puppetry and all that sort of stuff with that. My second lesson today is have eyes move first to direct. Like you move your eyes first and then your head kind of follows along. I don't know if it's scientifically accurate, but it looks good. So that's all that matters. I'm just gonna do another thing. The eyes is that I like to move the eyes a little bit down. And she closes her eyes. I feel like it kind of squeezes her eyes a little bit. Because otherwise I don't like it when, if her eyes are like looking up, like way up here, when she starts to close her eyes and people pause the video, they would see this. And so I don't like that. So I like to, even if it doesn't make too much sense, to kind of just bring the pupils down a little bit so that the pupils are always inside of the eye hole here. Yeah. One more Derpy Hooves. Yep. Well, thank you guys for suggesting that. I appreciate that. That was a fun little gimmick. When did I phrase as well with the ventriloquist? Yeah, just trying to do a whole bunch of puppetry and like learning Sesame Street, Muppet Show. Trying to learn all that. Yeah. Super into that, like getting really into that. Of like, I'm gonna get super good at this, you know? Like, I'm gonna be a really fun puppeteer. And then I had a chance to do a puppet show for some local stuff, local event, and I was like, cool. And then I remembered I have stage fright and social anxiety, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. So that's when I decided maybe this isn't for me. So I found other mediums to tell stories without having to actually perform and not doing it in real time. So this works really well. of animation works really well to not have to do real-time performance. As I'm doing all this, you know, streaming, but it does get kind of claustrophobic for me. Yeah, I don't know when I'll stop adding more derpies. Maybe when maybe for this month. Spell a little thing here. There we go. That's looking mighty sharp. Obviously, there still needs to be like hair movement, maybe ears, more in-betweens. There's definitely stuff I want to add. Let's see, I wanted to like add some particle effects for like this skid here. And we gotta do the entire monolith. What am I thinking? Obelisk. Whoa. Add that in. There's gonna be a interesting little texture work I want to work to get that to be like one of those perspective street art things, where like they're super stretched from a regular angle, but then you look at it from like the right angle and it looks right in perspective. Yeah, I agree. I just like that the animation is best medium. So you can really do a lot, like really whatever you want. Spend as much time as you want and make a story. And thanks for saying it's a medium. As most people would say it's a genre, you know. But they're wrong. If animation is a genre and film is a genre, you know, and it's like that doesn't make sense, you know. So animation is a medium, so you can tell your story through the art of animation. Beep 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 doo beep doo beep 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 doo. Just gonna move this back a little. Just gonna separate this change here. Let's make it less drastic. I think the neck moves a little bit here. I think I'm getting used to animating in Blender now. Obviously there's still a billion things I don't know. But I think just kind of doing this kind of simple posing is really fun. Not as intimidated as before. Like I remember like being intimidated of like even just having, you know, just having all these crazy armature stuff. This was like not, no, it was like not gonna happen before then. Pretty good. Let's kind of change this. Can I get a different color, please? What does this do? That just changes everything into one color. That's not what I want. Change it to random. Okay. Just gonna get it there. So we get the leg here. Do. And then not rotate. Can I just bring it down? Pretty snappy. I like to do anticipation where you go down first. So in order. So we go down and then we migrate ourselves up. Maybe you can do a little bit more straight. Get into a high position and then start to like settle it down, which just means that it's goes from a super high position, opposite extreme, to then kind of going back towards, I guess, where it was before the extreme. And always thinking arcs, which is like a rainbow is always in an arc, or like a crescent moon. So you think of those kind of like curvy shapes as you animate. So I'm thinking like, where is this going? Is this fulfilling the arc position? Does this one need to be in a slightly different position to make that arc work? Because everything animates and moves in arcs. That's just how our bone joints are set up. There we go. It's pretty messy. I think the mesh itself is not that great, but yeah. Let's go back through and animate this other leg. So maybe even that can stay a little bit lower. Might not even like really animate, really move, I guess to say. Maybe it could be like a little bit less. Let's kind of move it down a little bit. And then this can actually go up a little bit. Because it was like slightly delayed. Which is always good for animation to always have something to make it feel less robotic, is to have all this anticipation curves and stuff, as well as making sure that not everything moves at the same time, you know? Making sure that some things kind of feel like they're just a little bit asymmetrical is always good. You're learning a lot of stuff today in this stream. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Let's turn that armature off there. See what that looks like. Yeah. We want to move her neck here a little bit more. Yeah, it definitely creates that more dynamic feeling to it, exactly. That also helps with having more flappy or secondary motion stuff. The more you like add, as like in terms of accessories and stuff, the more it'll feel more alive. Because then you're like having the hair move at a different rate, which means when you move the head, then the hair moves slightly slower. Like you have a cape that's going to be blowing behind the character, like moving across and having physics and stuff applied to it and stuff. So like having more stuff definitely like adds more dynamicism to it. So yeah, making sure everything's moving, everything's feeling good. So let's see. Boop 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 boop. Yeah. So I want to go back to here and like start to see if there's anything more I can animate her here. Just kind of look that up. Like even here, like I probably would want to do the tail wiggle, to have some sort of it kind of like flying back, you know. Let's just do that while we're talking about it. So it's gonna get some drag and it's gonna feel kind of floaty. So we'll kind of go towards the camera a little bit. Maybe at some point it kind of goes back. And then we're gonna hit. So this is where that's gonna end there. So that was just like the edge there. So we can go back into do the this part of the tail now. This is only the main joint, and then this moves the middle-y bit, and this moves the bottom-y bit. Weight is also cool to consider. Is exactly, that's part of the physics as well, definitely. It's that's also weight is also sort of implied in the like the bouncing ball simulations. It's not really explained too well, I think, in like bouncing ball animations. It's more just like the spacing and timing and understanding that as things move what happens. That the ball moves from position A to B between these two poses and like frames and stuff. But also you can think of like how much weight it has as well as also has to be considered in a sense, but it's not exactly mandatory to like understand. Guess what I'm saying? Because I think I've tried that actually with 3D animation to understand that's like, oh, maybe you have a ball that's like a tennis ball versus a bowling ball, and then try to figure out like what the properties of the materials also determine how much these like bounce and move and jiggle and whatever. Like a jelly ball might move slower, more sticky or something. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. I never said that you did, so. There's no wrong time. You can always do whatever you want. I'm also adding a little bit of. I would just do this. I don't know, where main thing goes, butt goes up. I mean, tail goes down a little bit, so it creates that dynamic sense to that as well. And then it can kind of go up a little bit. Can I go down, maybe? Oh, good. As long as it's entertaining. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I feel like I'm sometimes too focused that then it's like not interesting to watch, I guess. Let's see. I think it also helps to like see, for educational, to like see like what the final product looks like, always there, and you can see like what the weird underbelly looks like. It's like, yeah, this is what you guys see, and this is what I have to see. See like, oh jeez, of just how much weirdness this can get into, how many weird hijinks this can look like. Agitating, exactly. I think I just like start to like automatically start talking about my process and like trying to make it educating. It's because it's like I'm kind of just default into that. I don't know. Because I feel like I got you as an audience, and I think it's interesting to like talk about this fun animation stuff. Let's kind of make it a little bit slower. Just a little bit, and then. Yeah. Let's watch the tail. Yeah, it's kind of flappy. Pretty floppy there. I feel like Derpy's motions themselves are a little bit off. I don't know. Again, I wanted to like have it be more of a boomf. Maybe I can do that right now. Let me see if I can get the. See, so just a click flank right there. So that when she doesn't really move here, so maybe we can use this as an opportunity to kind of flip her around. Bump, bump, bump. Let's see. Let's get the slowdown video. It's 0.25%. See how well it's done as well. Yeah, I did that a lot with Pony. I was like trying to, when I was trying to make my first cartoons, I was like trying to pause it to like figure out like how they did it, and like unintentionally finding a whole bunch of mistakes and animation errors Especially in the first season, there was a lot. I think it just comes down to like not really understanding how the ponies themselves are really constructed, or like how weird the puppets are. It kind of gets in the way of like trying to really do this, especially trying to be it on budget. Means that there's not much time to really go back and clean things up as much as you probably want to. So yeah, I remember finding some weird ones. I think I was watching like Feeling Pinky Keen a lot. There's a lot of weird ones. I think that was like the one that I really wanted to dive into and figure out how they did the Twilight as a ponyta kind of section there. And then I got into like how Pinky was doing her morphing of like feeling, getting this Pinky sense, and then cartooningly morphing into different shapes, and just looking at each individual frame, and it's like, why are somebody's why is an arm clipping over his neck, and why is his mouth over here not even connected to the head? And it's like so many weird individual frames, but obviously if you play it, you'd be like, oh, you know, you don't really notice it. So at the end of the day, it's just gotta be entertaining. So I had to stop thinking about being absolutely perfect with every frame, but it is fun to like look through and see like just how exactly some of this stuff is made, I guess. Both, both. And I guess with 3D with this, it becomes a little bit easier to like figure out if something's dynamically moving correctly. So you can, you know, you can see pretty well if something's not working. Fairly simply. I'm just trying to move this up. Oh yeah, no, wrong one. Let's see. Just kind of scoosh this over. Do 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 do. Boom. Boom. Probably adding some impact stars or something. Probably help this sell this as well a little bit, I think. Do I still have, let's go back to object mode. I think I still have extra stuff. One of them is literally making a simple star, so that's fun. 5 point outer radius, what's this? That's that. Inner radius. Just 0.5. Definitely. Let's make this thin. Okay. So what do we got? We got star. Okay, cool. Let's add keyframes. Zhoosh. Let's find out where we want it. Kind of position it. Right about there. Is that kind of clipping into her head? You betcha. Let's kind of thin that out. Okay, cool. Put that back there. Constant. Okay. So what we're gonna need is keyframe beep when she hits. So we need a keyframe, you know, just be shape of everything. And then we go back to the beginning keyframe at the start, and we can kind of move these back and add a frame behind the camera. So it won't appear until I want it. Beep. Beep. And then we'll have a couple, we'll have it kind of like get a little bigger. And then basically then remove it. So we'll put it back over here. Boom. Little hearts. see. Let's see if this works. Bump. Bump. So it kind of just adds a little bit more of a... that something actually hit. You know? That is actually like an impact. If we add a sound effect, it'll be even more effective. So yeah. That's just a simple way to add a bit more juice into your animation there. Beep. And make it more cartoony. Boop, bip, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, thank you, Shermie. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let's add another one when she hits the... I guess I could. Yeah. I was like, should I make a separate mesh? But I think this should work. So when she hits the... this here... give just a little... yeah, I suppose, yes. Don't tell her that. That's 890. So we'll have this be in between. So this be pretty big. And we'll have this be... how does that look? I think I like that. Probably also rotate it if we want to. Beep. And then it's gone here. Whoa, that's hard to see what's going on. Okay. Put it back behind the camera. If something's behind the camera, it'll never be visible. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Oh, we can do one with when she hits her butt here. Is that enough? Maybe it'll be smaller. Let's move this out. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Bring it back out. Beep, beep, beep. Bring it back up. And put it on over here. Rotate 80. And make it way smaller. Align it, but don't clip it. Okay. And then boop. Let's see. Boop. 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 It's basically all we need, I think. And then we can move this one back here. Beep. So now it's gone beep. Alrighty, cool. Let's see. Oop. Thank you, Jeremy. Have a good rest of your evening, night, whatever, morning, I don't know. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. So that just adds a lot more boom into it. And again, with the sound effects, it'll be even more effective. Boom, beep, boom. You know. But I think we're good. Let me see if I can make this... oh, that's the toolbox big. Let's make this a little bigger. Guess I can just remove it. Okay. This will make it go a little bit faster. At the risk of it looking a little bit off, but eh. So there we go. So if I put it back up to like full render, it's like a little bit slower than real time. I think it's pretty good. There we go. Alright. So, what do we think? I think the impact stars really add a lot. We're punching. Boom, boom, boom. What would I add more? I guess it would just be... well, I guess also the... but let's see. The obelisk. Add more keyframes here and there. Add more in between keyframes, secondary animation. There is actually pretty much. A lot to do. Yeah. So, might be another week or so of more streams like this to get it really done. But I think on a whole, the Derpy animation is actually looking pretty good. Not actually too upset now of how slower fall down is. I think I added more, really averaged her keyframes there, so that actually looks pretty good now. And anything else I'll probably also have to do. Make it really complete. There we go. Yeah, it affects helped a ton? Yeah, exactly. I think we're good for tonight. Way to go. We got something here. Alrighty. Yay. Okay, cool. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, I need one more horse. Let me copy. Paste. Shoop. There you go. Shoop. There we go. Alright. Hi guys. I don't have to wave, but I got it out. Hello. Hee. Alright, how we doing? Let's see. Oh, I gotta talk about some housekeeping stuff. I guess it's not, but I guess it's also news. Who knows what you want to talk about. We're slated for a Minimairs and I are slated for a Ponies Online Twitch live stream. I guess. I think we're switching to YouTube, but if that doesn't happen within the time, then probably on Twitch. So, I'm done. Well, let me get the link again for you. I have it somewhere. Ponies Online. Let me go to the. Oh, I have the window smaller, so it thinks it's in tablet mode. Dynamic sizing. Ponies Online, which is a completely different team than the Pony Fest Online, and different from Ponies at Home Online. This is Ponies Online. They apparently contacted the Midnightmares director and said, "Hey, you want to be a community guest?" And I guess he said yes. So I had to be like the panel organizer and get the stream set up because he's not too used to doing this sort of stuff. It doesn't really come up with his usual day-to-day work. So yeah. Okay, thank you. But yeah, we'll be I guess the next time you'll see me will be on this Saturday. What time was it? It was like at noon PST. Let me just see again. The schedule itself is still a work in progress. If you go to their website and go to schedule, does this work? Oh, it's kind of, I got blue screen effect on here. There we are. So we're Midnightmares at 12 to 1 PSTs, whatever that'll be for you. It's still not exactly set up. Short driving the basic visual design principles using Ponies as a driver, almost, but not exactly. So, and the stream goes to some random Picardo stream, so hopefully that'll be settled. We can see, it'll be 2 days worth, so there'll be some cool people, Prince whatever, Rift City. Yeah, so if you want to look at this on your own, you can go there. So Minty Root will also be there. And it goes for another whole day's worth. Roblox. Yeah, so I think this will be fun. I unfortunately never knew about this before we were signed up for it. So yeah, this is my first time at that. So yeah, we're gonna be working on that. We're gonna probably just show off as Midnightmares. So we're gonna show off probably the same content. Unfortunately, we don't really. Yeah, the content that I'm working on now is secret spoilery stuff that I'm under NDA to like not talk about. Excuse me. So, the content I've been working on since the last trailer all I've been working on is secret stuff, so I don't think, one, it's not quite done yet, and two, it's secret, so we're not exactly going to be showing that. So unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be new content. But if you haven't seen or know about it, or like know what Manamare is about or anything, what I've been working on with the Manamare's team, I'm more of a worker on it. I'm not like the director. This isn't my idea or anything. This is Chris Gann and his team. Like in 2015-14, set up this crazy story with horses adjacent characters. So we'll talk about that more of what exactly it is during the stream as well. But yeah, in general, I have nothing really story wise really to contribute. Most of my little tiny comedic animation stuff is what I put into it for my own flavor on that. But yeah, in general, I didn't make the characters or story or anything for that. But it was it's a fun little cartoon that we're setting up to make a full pilot and then pitch it to different streaming networks. So it could be really big. You know, have to. That's my. I'm not drinking. Hang on. Cross fingers. There you go. This will happen. Yeah. Apparently Chris got into the headspace that's like he has to complete a 30-minute pilot before streamer network has to look at it, and it's like I don't think that's really the case. I guess everyone's different, but I guess it's like, do we really need to actually create an entire self-funding pilot first? I mean, I got like 6-7 minutes worth of trailer stuff, you know, so apparently that's not enough. When can't we just say like our pilot just ends there, you know? So anyway, but we'll be talking about that. So yeah, if you have any questions, I would appreciate you guys if you wanted to join in on it. You guys are definitely welcome to join, and if you guys are interested in the regular panels, that'd be fun too. I'll probably be very busy setting it up, that I probably won't be able to really enjoy it, but yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, that's what on Saturday I'll be working on. I'll be working on basically as out of the panels, everything, yeah. But yeah, hope to see you there if you're interested. Yeah, let's see. So working on the movie. Movie is also coming very, 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 very soon. Hopefully. Wink. I can't wink, but yes. I've been working my butt off trying to complete as much stuff as I possibly can. You know, it's been real doozy of a chapter. Way more ambitious than 1 through 5 almost combined at this point. How much stuff I'm like adding into it. With the movie chapter 6 to reiterate. Yeah, it's been as much as time wise, it's almost as much as some of the other ones. Like chapter, it's weird thing is that I always kind of had to work on the next sort of set piece, geographical place for each chapter. It's like for when she was in the story when Derpy's going on to when she's in the city, you know, I had to also make the boat at the end. And then when she's on the boat, she like sees like a vista of like the next place, and it's like, cool. Now I also have to make that, and it's like I was not ready to like really sit down and spend the next 2-3 months. Delayed chapter 5 for like 3 to 4 months, or who knows how long, and then release it. So I just made this really bland, gross, rocky terrain as a placeholder. So you get to see the more higher quality version and the story so far at the end. So that's the one I'm using right now. So it looks a little better, but yeah. So finish my thought is that, yeah, I'm gonna work over the weekend and hopefully get it. Should be under your nose hopefully really soon. So I've been saying that for the last couple weeks, but hopefully very, very soon. So yeah, sorry. But yeah. Let's see. I was not two ponies recently, I've been trying to pick it up. I mean, Centaur World and other ones, they're pretty close. But yeah, if you have time to watch it, Cookie, you can. Have you seen it? I guess. Have you seen any material for Minute Mirrors? That'll help. That it's trying to be its own thing. It's more moody, more dramatic, more melancholy. But everything in the trailers so far, what we've been doing, it's been like the fun Act 1 kind of like, yeah, we're just having, you know, we're just having, you know, little troubles, but oh well, haha, there's little funny toys that run around, and I kind of directed what they did. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, what do you think? For someone who's never probably seen it, what would you say to them, I guess? You know, would it be like, if you like Pony, maybe you should watch it? Or if you're like, it's not Pony enough, if you're like a super fan of Pony, would you be like, it's probably not for you? So, yeah. Surprised to hear you guys' names for streaming services, but it was just gonna be a web show. I think it was almost from the onset going to be. Chris has been trying to figure out what the ending or like what the actual series are gonna be like, without giving too much away, hopefully. So it's gonna be very different from even the trailers. What he's been promoting the last 5 years is not exactly what you're gonna get, so it's like really hard to really pitch that idea when we don't really have that much content to like get into conflict of like, well, we don't want to show you what the series is gonna be like, but also we have to show you something, so it's like we have to show like all these pre-stuff, you know, early in the story, you know, so it's kind of like, But also Chris has been trying to figure out what the actual story is. Where I've had calls where he's like, yeah, I had it to be like this, and this was the twist, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a twist now, and now I had a third version of the twist, so it's like, yeah, he didn't know what the story was. That fundamentally changes what the story is like, yeah, that's, So, but obviously I won't get too specifics in any of that. But yeah, there's something more under the surface. That there's been clues everywhere and all that. So yeah, clues sprinkled around and different background elements and certain phrases, you know. So yeah, but yeah, whether or not it's gonna be, why exactly we have to do it as a full-blown series is interesting. He just got into his head, and I think either at this point, if the series doesn't get picked up really too quickly, it probably would be good to like make sure that we can actually complete the story in some fashion. You know, we get the comics as well, like comic books, but it's definitely gonna be, depends on how far. Well, it's also he wants the comic book. It's really confusing. Where he wants the comic books to be in a very specific period of time that the pilot kind of like skips over. There's like a time skip in a certain area, but it's not too much, like a certain amount of time. And then during that time, he was gonna have like a whole series of comic books that like explains what happens during that time, just so it can be within this certain amount of time. And it's like, what? So yeah, I have no real stakes in this per se. It just seems to be, yeah, exactly. It's just a little job to work on, you know, to still have fun and learn to work with a professional crew and all that. So, but yeah, it's been really fun to work with and super joy to work with. Yeah, everyone on team is amazing. I know everyone usually says that, but it's like I feel like this is a really good, strong team that I'm working with. Yeah. So, oh yeah, there's way more story bits that's like past of what I want to say. That gets really off the rails. Yeah, it seemed like he wrote like the first trailer, and then like he even admitted to like where every trailer would listen to the comments and like read them, and they would say like, what's up with this character, what's their background, like who is this, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I have not fleshed this character out yet, let me go back and do that. It's where he's just making the story up by the seat of his pants. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's like he's writing the story as it goes along while also making it try and make sense as it goes, and then where it's gonna head to is also kind of disjointed. Where the expectations of what you expect and stuff is because of the story process, it becomes very convoluted. So, of what I've, the small snippet of what I've been told, it could go even further, and it just gets down this rabbit hole of like, what? Whereas I get to keep digging to like try and get your way back up out of the hole, and it's like, oops, yeah, you're just going further down. So, yeah. But yeah, Whip Show, going back to that, will be probably just as good. We had one trailer, I say we now. Metamir's had a trailer for kind of redux of the previous content, but it somehow got like 1 million views, and so, but unfortunately Chris never got YouTube partner, ABC, Alphabet, all that. He never actually got partnered, so he never actually got a cent from that. So he probably just thinks like YouTube is just like a Facebook where you just kind of post stuff and then leave it, not actually as a career for, people like that where they can get the partnership and produce content regularly and then get money. It's weird. But yeah, I think the plan is that we'll get the pilot done and then really only show it to the streaming services stuff, and then see where that goes to make it into a series for like a Hulu. He wants like a Hulu or something like that. So, but yeah. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Try and zoom in during the weekend. Okay, thank you. See ya. Let me get some water and I'll catch up on the rest of these comments you got, guys. Let's see. Yeah. I haven't seen any material, but when the pilot drops in the upload channel, pilot is not going to happen soon. The pilot itself that we want to do, like the 30-minute pilot, right now with our team of, we had 4, now we got 3 people working on it actively. We're able to make like half a minute or so within like a 4 or 5 months or more. So if we want that times like 20, that's many years. That's like 4 or 5 years, I don't know. So it's probably gonna take like, if not longer than where we are from the first reveal trailer in 2014. I would assume if nothing changes, then it's gonna take just as long. So I don't think I'll be around for that. I'm looking to find other jobs, and I got one lead, but we'll see where that goes. Yeah. Most shows never get picked up. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Didn't miss too much for a pilot. I know, but it's just like the way that the entire arcs and stories are like set up. I want to say something, but The way that the story is set up means that we had to have enough time to really establish the characters in a certain sense, you know, and then I'll probably just stop there. So yeah, there's a certain madness rhyme to this madness, you know. Every time he like gets a legitimate question in one of the comments, Chris always replies with like, "There's a reason to this, you know. Don't you?" I can't do it. He has a southern accent. No, that's Applejack talk. Don't you worry. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. The story is planned out, so don't you worry about why things don't make sense, basically. But it just needs to have enough time to actually let this stew, you know? So, yeah. It's just weird because most of, you know, the pilots and animated pilots that the ones that get leaked are usually like half as long as a usual episode. And they're usually just enough to be like a vertical slice of what the cartoon will be. I'm thinking of the Gravity Falls one where I think it's only like 8-10 minutes. You know, it's a demonstration to show like what the cartoon can potentially be, you know. So having it be that super long is not great, especially if he's trying to actually really self-fund this, and I don't think he understands that without enough of a team, you know, working on it, where it's just me, I'm the only animator actually working on it, means that everything gets slow to a crawl, where I'm not exactly able to, you know, work at a super fast pace or really get things super done, you know, compared to if I had two people. So yeah. we did have some talk where let's split the pilot into half blocks, you know, two blocks, and where we split find a point in the middle and then have pilot A and pilot B. But I think we just kind of gave up on that and just like, if we're gonna do this, let's just actually complete it, I guess. But might have to go back to that plan of where we did think like, let's contain this down and actually shorten it down. Yeah, because I don't think he's actually more into, the director is more into comic books. So maybe he's just like, okay, maybe a 30-page comic is pretty good, you know. That's enough of a story. That's pretty long, you know. This will tell my entire story, and not realize that a 30-page script means 30 minutes of animation. It's an almost general rule that a one-page script is approximately 1 minute of screen time. You know, give or take or whatever, but you can kind of tell from that of like how long the story will be by about how many pages it is. So 30 pages will be about 30 minutes. So yeah. I want to say something more, but self-contained. It does have a good. It's fun because the pilot ends on a cliffhanger. But it just sets everything up. But it's also like, ooh, yeah. I don't know if he definitely wants it to be more story continuity kind of style, Avatar, Last Airbender style, where each episode is a different chapter. But it also seems like probably just once we get 3 or 4 episodes in, then it might just then start to become more episodic. But I think it just needs enough time to really set things up. Because of course, like how much complicated things get, you know, it's like needs more time to actually explain it. So I did actually go through, like, when I first, he gave me the script, like, the first thing I was saying, and I was like, okay, here's the script, you know, just read it, and I read it, and I was like, huh. I was trying to imagine it as visually as possible, like, what does this look like, and as well as, do these scenes further the plot? And I was reading it, and I was like, there's some scenes that really don't go anywhere. I don't even think like you really learn anything in some scenes, and it's like, okay. some of them start to like go back and forth. There's like two worlds, where it's like day world and night world. Eventually we just keep going back and forth between them. Each scene is like day world, night world, day world, and it's like, huh. Like, I guess to like kind of continue where everything is, but it's also like, yeah, let's just try to figure this out. It really needed a script doctor to like really look through and say like, yeah, you can cut out like maybe like a third of the script at best. Like, I was reading it and I was like, okay, we cut it out right now, so I guess I can say there's like a scene of Nightfall, the bratty goth Hot Topic mayor, and she's like at school, and then she does the typical 80s style of going to the bathroom and then having like a pep talk to herself and like really trying to say like, okay, you can do this, okay, we're gonna go back out there and we're gonna really show the rest of the classmates that we're something. And I was like, man, not only am I thinking like this needs an entirely one shot off bathroom set, but also like this doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't. It can almost be implied that like she does this, you know, that she's walking to school and she's like, okay, you just do body language of like sort of a thing. And then we cut to like her in the classroom, and then she's like smiling and trying to pass off herself as someone different. And it's like, okay, wow. It's almost like that the whole sequence didn't need to be there. As well as the technology of like, there was like going to be a bathroom mirror, and I was like, oh no. I was like, how am I gonna actually figure that out? As well as like, would there be different perspectives, and like at a weird camera angle, that means that there might have to be two different versions of her, and it's like, ah. So we settled on like, let's. It was weird. It's like we still need to like. He was really into like we still need this scene, so it's like, okay, let's just change it into this other one-shot background, where she's like in the forest behind the school, and then other magic stuff happens, and it's like, ah. And it's like, well, that's like, oh yeah, that's better. So there's so many like weird instances of stuff like that, where it's like, huh, the problem solving of it's just like goes back in a circle. I'm like, wait, we didn't actually solve anything, because we still have the same issue of like we don't want as many backgrounds. So anyway, come to the panel. I'll try not to talk as dirty and weird as bad talking as that. Hopefully I'll just say nice things and just keep my mouth shut. And trying to say like, yeah, we sure are trying to do this the best we can. It'll be amazing. And it's just these little tiny, you know, one-off things that just kind of keep up, and it's like, oh wait, are we really gonna do this? So but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, go to the panel tomorrow, Saturday. Where are we? Yeah. Link. I linked the Ponies Online up in there, so go watch that. And then I'll get the chapter 6 very soon as well. As soon as I'm like lightheaded now. Let me get some water. Alright. I think we're about on time as well. Anything else I'll probably talk about next Tuesday as well. I'll workshop how to get the blinks working with the 3D Derpy here. See if there's anything else I can do in between streams, and we'll continue with this. Might only be like one more week of animating. I don't think there's much more to do. We got definitely the backbone of it, so I think it'll probably be pretty complete pretty soon. So that'll be fun. We'll have another whole 3D Derpy animation cartoon. That'll be fun. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm not drinking. There we go. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Well, this was fun. if anything, entertainment in some sense, like we said. So thank you guys again. Thank you guys. Yeah, bye bye. Bye guys. I have my eyes closed. There we go. So I can see you. There we go. Oh, there's my little arms. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Thank you guys. See you, I guess, very soon. I guess sooner than usual. It'll be on Saturday. Noon Pacific. But yeah, that's what it is now. So it's possible to change, but at this point it is that time. So look out for news about that. Until then, yep. See you guys. Bye guys, everyone. Bye everyone. Bye.